overlooked by the majestic Chugach mountain range. Its most famous feature is the spectacular 45-kilometer-long Knik Glacier.
All set, Stuart. Take the other strut, Gary.
In nearby Palma, two friends are getting ready for a sightseeing flight to the glacier.
Okay, clear on this side.
Taking the pilot's seat is Dave Akers, a veteran flyer with thousands of hours under his belt.
I've been flying aircraft since 1974. It's rewarding, it's challenging. Really love to fly.
Man, this is what I'm really gonna miss.
Texan Gary Null came north 2 years ago to work in Alaska's oil industry and quickly became firm friends with fellow outdoorsman Dave.
Really appreciate this, Dave.
We went out and did a lot of sightseeing together. We both had a mutual admiration for the outdoors. I would just jump at every opportunity I had to go fly with him.
I really haven't known Gary all that long, but, you know, sometimes you just click.
Dave's been teaching Gary the basics of flying, but this is their last lesson for a while. Gary and his family are returning home to Texas.
Okay, Gary, ready to go?
Let's do it.
The 80-kilometer round trip should take no more than 2 hours. Dave and Gary plan to be back before dusk.
We were in just real remote scenery. No power lines, no roads, no human intervention in the land at all.
Alaska is just beautiful. It's called the last frontier, and it truly is the last frontier. There's just, you can get away from civilization very easily up there.
The weather stays fine as they track the river southeastwards. And after an hour, they reach their destination, the stunning Knik Glacier.
It's probably some of the most magnificent scenery that I can relate to. And I've seen a lot of country in my life.
Time's up, Gary.
Eager to land the plane while it's still daylight, Dave turns for home.
And as we headed back towards the airport,
Hey, Dave, look over there.
I remember glancing over to my right shoulder and seeing this mouth of this valley just opening up to our right there.
Let's go check it out.
Dave has never noticed this valley before.
Hey, come on, there might not be no next time.
Okay.
Intrigued, he descends to take a closer look. But what Dave doesn't know is that this is a notorious spot where over a dozen planes have crashed before.
I had a lot of trust in the airplane and a lot of trust in my ability. Just wanted to kind of get a feel for the environment.
15 minutes later, Dave starts his climb out.
The valley was back behind us. I remember Dave just giving it full throttle.
We don't seem to be going up.
I did a quick instrument scan and noticed that I was going down at 200 feet a minute. I thought, something's not right. I immediately knew we were in a downdraft.
The aircraft is caught in a column of rapidly descending cold air. Its 145 horsepower engine can't generate enough lift to overcome the powerful downward force. The plane is now plummeting towards the ground at over 10 meters per second.
needed to keep my wings level and get my airspeed as low as possible because we were going to impact. I had no choice but to accept that.
I'll never forget him looking at me and saying, "We're going to crash." The impact was tremendous.
Just loud, and I thought, oh no, what have I done?
Just feel the plane skidding and sliding.
And then a big noise, and then the lights went out.
After skidding for 30 meters, the plane has come to rest. Over 1,200 meters up a remote mountainside.
One of my first thoughts was, here I am covered in blood. I had a hard time focusing my eyes.
Miraculously, both men have survived the crash. But Dave appears to be unconscious.
I look around and I see Dave laid back in his seat and his eyes are just rolled up in his head.
Dave.
I'm thinking, man, this is not good.
Dave. You hear me?
I immediately start yelling at him and trying to get his attention.
Dave, talk to me, man.
He was incoherent.
But their injuries are not the only problem.
Dave, we gotta get out.
Gasoline was just pouring out.
The force of the impact has ruptured the plane's fuel tanks.
Get the door.
The wreck could catch fire and explode at any moment.
Come on, man.
Gary must get his injured friend to safety.
Go! Go!
I'm pulling and tugging on him and trying to get him out of the plane.
Come on!
He's not responding.
Wake up!
I didn't have time to think, oh, are we gonna die or whatever.
Come on, man.
I just knew we gotta get away from the plane.
Come on.
Just kept yelling at him, come on, Dave, we gotta move, we gotta get out of here.
Gary finally manages to drag Dave clear of the wreckage and out of danger.
And the next thing I knew, I'm staring at the tundra. I recall thinking that we're two very lucky people to be alive.
Against all odds, Dave and Gary have survived the crash, but both have sustained multiple injuries.
I remember having a lot of pain up in my right chest and shoulder area. And then I looked up at Gary, and he had a pretty good gash in his forehead.
He don't look good. I'm okay.
Gary doesn't know it, but he has a serious skull fracture. Dave has broken 2 ribs and fractured his collarbone.
We needed to get some help quick, but nobody knew where we were at. I immediately started to feel guilty for what I had done.
Their unplanned detour means they're well off the usual flight path, and they've left their mobile phones back at the airfield. Their last hope is the plane's high-frequency radio. But to reach it means braving the fuel-soaked fuselage.
The gasoline was still just pouring out of the plane, and we just determined we had to take a chance.
Gary grabs vital emergency gear, while Dave checks the radio. A single spark could ignite the fuel, turning the wreck into a lethal fireball.
I reached over to the master switch. I turned on the radio to see if there was anything there. There wasn't any power. It was just dead.
It's a devastating blow. Out here, it could take weeks for rescuers to find them. Now there's only one option left. They must walk off the mountain while they're still strong enough.
So we gathered up everything we had.
The men decide to head for the Kinnick River, where they hope to hit a logging road. But they set off woefully ill-equipped to survive in the harsh Alaskan wilderness.
You reckon I ought to get a jacket? Ah, don't worry. We'll be up and back before you know it.
I was dressed in my shorts, t-shirt, my tennis shoes on. We just thinking we're gonna go out for a quick sightseeing trip, but it's not the way to be dressed when you're out in the wilderness of Alaska.
An inventory of the bag they salvaged from the plane reveals little by way of supplies.
He had a little emergency bag that had some peanut butter, some bandages, some tarps, some old towels, a couple of sleeping bags. It was pretty limited, but we were able to utilize some of the things in it. Before we started down the hill, I made a sling for Dave's arm.
Sorry about this. We gotta put a sling on this thing. Okay. Easy. Better?
He was very adventurous, very independent. I think what attracted me to him was the adventurous side of him, that he kind of took me out of my box a little bit.
Hey, thank you.
We had basically sold everything that we had owned and moved on to just travel. I think what was attractive most to us was the fact of the unknown, the fact that we could just pack our bare essentials and X amount of money and see what happens.
Their adventure starts with a 100-mile flight to a small town on the edge of the Corcovado National Park.
Have fun, guys.
But getting there means a 30-minute journey on a small aircraft. Something Brandy is dreading.
See, it's not so bad, is it?
I guess not. Flying was something that I did not like to do. I remember it being a little scary because it was just a little puddle jumper. It wasn't tall enough for you to stand up straight. It was really small. It was really small.
No, let's sit in the front row. Come on, it'd be really cool. We can sit at the cockpit.
No, let's just sit one seat behind.
Brandon said, "Hey, babe, let's go sit in the front row." I think because of my fear, I said, "No, let's just sit one seat behind." So we sat in the second row.
There are 6 passengers on today's flight. Last to board is American expat Michael Packard, who lives in Costa Rica and regularly takes this trip.
How you doing? Hey, I'm Michael. Brandon. Nice to meet you. Brandy?
I've done the flight so many times that I was just looking forward to reading my book and getting back to town.
for me, taking off is scary.
It's gonna be okay, baby.
So I remember just concentrating on being still and just being calm and breathing.
Costa Rica is a small country that is both densely forested and very mountainous. If visibility is poor, low-level flying can be extremely dangerous. And clouds are gathering.
When I look out of the window and I see clouds, that's a little frightening to me.
Fine, okay? I don't particularly like flying up there because it is a rough ride sometimes. They are small planes.
But on this flight, Michael sees something out of the ordinary.
I noticed the two pilots conferring with each other, looking a little concerned, and I realized what they were doing was looking at coordinates in these books, trying to pinpoint their position because they weren't sure where they were.
The plane has basic navigation equipment on board, but the pilots are relying on charts and maps to reach their destination. But now they're flying in dense cloud and almost zero visibility. They're unaware that they're already off course and heading for a mountain.
These clouds are getting very dark.
It's fine.
Brandy said, look how thick these clouds are. And so I looked outside of our window, and it got darker and darker.
Oh my God!
It's horrifying. That was my ultimate fear coming true.
What goes through your head is the fact that you're not going to live through this.
You're headed for the mountain. You're headed for the mountain to die.
I remember thinking, we're not flying anymore. We're going through the trees. Is this even happening?
My stomach dropped. My mind just went blank.
To hear things break apart, just the sound that it makes is unbelievable.
My first thought was, you're not getting out of this.
I wake up and it's freezing cold, and my entire body was soaked in jet fuel. I was in a plane on vacation, and now I'm in a black hole that I can't move my legs, and it's blood just everywhere. Brandy was head to toe blood. And I remember thinking, oh my God.
Brandy! 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 Wake up! Can you hear me? Brandy! Wake up, Brandy! Brandy, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
My first memory was Brandon talking to me.
Brandy, listen to me. You gotta get out of here. We're covered in jet fuel. Oh my God. Get your belt, your seatbelt. Let's go.
I remember feeling completely panicked and completely in disarray.
Hurry, go! Get away from the plane!
Outside the plane, Brandy is horrified by the devastation of the wreckage and the bodies of the 2 pilots.
Trees were knocked down. There was a mess of plane parts, wires. There's smoke everywhere. There's people wandering around. There's people that are dead. How could this have happened? How could the pilots have let this happen?
German Silke Freebold and Costa Rican Alvaro Zuniga have also survived the crash. But the danger is far from over. Leaking fuel is soaking the wreckage, and Brandon is trapped inside.
Brandon! Get out of the plane! It's on fire!
I just remember having something on my legs.
Brandon is pinned under the body of a dead passenger, Costa Rican Adolfo Strasburger.
Hurry up, Brandon!
Go! Get away from the plane! Get away from the plane!
Quick!
Get away from the plane!
The survivors need to get a safe distance from leaking fuel. But in severe pain from extensive burns, Alvaro is unable to move.
Come on, we gotta get away from the plane! Come on!
Now able to take in the extent of the wreckage, Brandon and Brandy realize just how lucky they are to be alive.
The wings were ripped off, and the fuselage was turned upside down, and from the seat in front of us, the plane was completely dismantled.